It's been a while since I gave you guys some wonderful Mushoku Tensei news. And as you know, we're all hyped for season 2 coming out this summer. And I am shocked that there's no delays. Because usually, every time Mushoku Tensei is supposed to have, uh, you know, a spot where it's supposed to air, it always gets delayed into the next season or two. But this time, no. Seems like things will be on time this time. And I say I am psyched for it. With that being said, with the light novels finally ending, well, yeah, they ended. However, for those who are light novel readers only, there's more. Yes, there is more. Sequels, prequels, spin-offs, and side stories. Tons of stuff. And one of the things that got announced is the redundancy chapters. Redundancy is what it is. They're they're canon chapters, but they don't hold any true, real continuation to the story, like to the main plot theme itself, but mainly to do with Rudia's side characters and his children in their daily lives of things that they do. Most of it is, of course, is after volume 25 and before the chapter of volume 26. That's 26, right? That's the last volume. I can't remember. Or the 24. 24. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is this, is that this is very interesting and good side content. Mainly the ones to do with Riz and his children. Each one having their own little adventure or crazy things, as an automaton doll on a rampage, or them going on vacation, ours having his own little adventure, the girl in her school life, tons of other stuff. Of course, side characters and the sisters also have their own stories as well, such as Norn and her wedding, who she's getting married to. I'm not telling. And even one for Aisha herself. I wonder. Now, there's quite a good few amount of chapters for every kind of character in Mushoku Tensei. There's chapters for Rudius, there's chapters for his children, like Lucy and stuff, and her perspective. There's even chapters where you have Oyster and his perspective on things as well. I'm not trying to go to heavy spoilers here, but yeah, it will require heavy spoilers in order for me to talk about the stuff that does happen within the series after the season 2. And you guys don't want to be spoiled now, do you? Well, anyways, I've been looking forward to this because when I finished the last chapter of the main volume a long time ago, when it ended, and I was in tears, I needed something to pick me up, and thankfully there was redundancy chapters. And during this time, the redundancy chapters were still being translated as well, by the way. So it took a while to get all the chapters. And I read them down to Nanahoshi and her eating and her cooking thing. There's ones about Riz's second son, ones about even the characters who have yet to be revealed and how they end up together. Like I said, there's tons and tons of content you can get from the redundancy chapters, which I did enjoy. Some of them I didn't enjoy that much. I enjoyed the Nanahoshi one. I didn't really enjoy the other characters are very side characters too much either. But it was good to know what become of them afterwards. Enjoying this world that the creator have made and how it expands beyond Ruiz' point of view, which I've always enjoyed. Now, with redundancy chapters being set to be serialized, some people have questions. Will the author bring back the deleted chapter? I remember talking about deleted chapter when I did my very first video on Mushoku Tensei. My very first video on it. Or was it the second first video? It's one of those two. I was talking about it. And I guess some people agreed with me on it. Either way, I believe you should bring the chapter back. It is disturbing. It is messed up. But it brings out these characters. So I think it's necessary because the point of Mushoku Tensei is that people do bad things. People, even people you look up to, can do bad things. People you like can do bad things. They're not bad people, they just do bad things. And that's just part of the world, is it? It makes you feel uncomfortable, well, that's the point. People do some uncomfortable stuff. Just because it makes you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean it should not exist, because that's just the world we live in. Perspective, and this is completely wrong. Like, it's freaking wrong. But other than that, you know what I mean. But anyways, with redundancy chapters on their way, which is more content, what other content is there out there? Well, first of all, there's other content, of course. There's Jobless Oblige. Jobless Oblige is about Rudius's second son in his quest of finding who he wants to be. He is too like his father, where he is unemployed, but he is proud of it instead, because he wants to be this hero of justice, in a way, a superhero and stuff. And he just goes around as this persona, saving and defeating bad guys and stuff, but it isn't really productive, really. He needs to find what he really needs to do. But he takes his time, so I do enjoy that. So of all the characters, all the children Rias has, it's funny how that's the only one that gets to have his own main story. Very interesting. Then again, he becomes a very powerful person. Then, of course, there's my personal favorite, Old Dragon's Tale. I think I made a video about Old Dragon's Tale a while back, and I said, watch or listen to Natalie Hunter's video, because she read the entire series of Old Dragon's Tale, and just listening to her read stuff is always a blessing. Because she does an excellent job when it comes down to it. So yeah, there's Old Dragon Tale, which happened when the world was once it. Old Dragon Tale takes place when there was more than one world, when there were 6 or 7 worlds back in the day. So you're wondering why there's only one world? Well, you have to read to find out. But heavy spoilers, very heavy spoilers if you read Old Dragon's Tale, because oh man. If you read Old Dragon's Tale now without finishing Mushoku Tensei, you're going to be like, ooh, man. Ooh, you already know what's having some characters. Well, anyway, just that as well. Now, besides that, it has been confirmed that the author is going to create the sequel of Mushoku Tensei. When the anime, well, some say when the anime is finished, or which I believe is when he's finished with his current light novel series he's working on about the orc and everything. I believe it's when the orc light novel is done, is when he'll continue on the sequel to Mushoku Tensei. People have been waiting for this one for years. We've been waiting for this for Mushoku Tensei prequel, because it has been teased throughout the story of Mushoku Tensei for a while, and people have just been like, oh man, we gotta see what happens next. Because it's when you have this teasing in front of you as you're reading. It's like playing Kingdom Hearts 3. When you're playing Kingdom Hearts 3, they keep teasing about all this stuff. You haven't played all the games or seen all the mobile game scenes and stuff like that. You're confused like what's going on. But if you have, so you know what's happening, and you're playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and you're seeing them saying stuff that by reading everything, you know what they're talking about. They've been hinting up, advertising the sequel within the game the entire time. I guess that's the reason why a lot of people were disappointed in Kingdom Hearts 3. Either way, that's what it's like with Mushoku Tensei and its sequel. They've been teasing the entirety of the sequel, as you know about it, in the stories, after Season 2 anyways. After Season 2 is when they start teasing the sequel to the series a lot, or here and there anyways. And it gets you hyped. Like, this is good and all, but I want to know what happens next. But the author himself has been very, very, skeptic about doing it, because he doesn't believe it'll be good enough to compete with Mushoku Tensei as a sequel, because Rudius himself is a good character. But by writing all these side stories and all these other stories he's done, like Old Dragon's Tale, Jobless Oblige, even redundancy chapters, we have fallen in love with these characters even without Rudeus being there or being the main character. So I believe it will be alright. As long as he continues to improve on his writing, things will get better. I know the sequel's going to be amazing. It's going to be probably good because it's going to be the typical Isekai thing. Because remember, I'm not saying who is the main character in the sequel, even though you have seen them. You've already seen them. That's all I'm saying. You've already seen them. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to stop the video before I go into more spoilers because, man, I just love this series. You already know how much I love this series. And they need to make a Rudeus figurine already. God damn it. At least one who needs a grown adult in his power armor. That would be cool. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys hype for the continuation of this series. It's like I said, it's a series that really did pick me up when I was feeling down. Because in a way I could relate to Rudeus feeling like a failure, and no matter how hard he tries, things just don't seem to work. But it will work eventually. Because you can't do everything yourself. So I did enjoy that. So without that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Man, it's on my tongue today. And it's not because it's blue. It's just, and of course hit that bell icon. But set the background, I'm Anime. Signing out.